set. Estelle Bugias, Chinatsu Shidara, Madison Van Doren and Jessica Shilton in defence. Dakota Tyson in midfield alongside Neve Dustin. Paige Clemenson on a flank. So too Zoe Horton. Emma Runnels through the middle. And Savannah Anastasopoulos is the number 10. On the bench, just the one change for John Kyrgios' side. So many new players thrown together. Just 3 players who were here at Alamein last season. On the bench, Priya Archdeacon, Kate Bean, Harriet Lowry, Matilda Lowry, Roisin Murphy, and just the one change, Shantaya Herford drops out for Elise Cook on the pine. For Preston, 3 changes from that side that drew in round 1. In comes Elena Vatke, Molly May Ramsey, and Lani Gidice. Ellie Vlaminck, Eva Harrington and Summer Kapanekia drop to the bench, retaining their places. Maggie Byrne, Mizuho Yamada, Emma Checker, Elle Talevsky, Georgia Henderson, the captain, Eliza Amendolia, Eri Narita and Valentine Percy. On the bench alongside Kapanekia, Harrington and Vlaminck is Sophie Den, the backup goalkeeper, Ellie Lamont and Miri Nishimura. 2 fixtures in the starting lineup from last season, Nishimura and Lamont, but both on the road back from knee injuries. And so they're gradually working their way into starting form. Almost ready to kick off here. It's Preston with the ball in their white and red away kit. Alamein in the dark blue, kicking from right to left. My name is Josh Parrish. It's a delight to have your company on this warm, sunny afternoon here in Ashburton. Luke Genematis is the man with the whistle, and he's about to get us underway. Valentine Percy with the kickoff. Talevsky with the rolled up sleeves, looking to get the job done on the road today. It won't be easy against this Alamein side who've started the season with that really positive result. They're looking for a piece of history today, Alamein. They have never beaten Preston in their 5 meetings in all competitions. It's 3 Preston wins and 2 draws. And last season, Preston dominated this matchup. A 3-1 win at the home of the Matildas, which was Alamein's home away from home at the time. And then at BT Connor Reserve, 7-1, including an Ellie Lamont hat-trick and a Georgia Henderson stunner from way, way downtown. So Alamein looking for a bit of revenge this time around. As Olivia Cowan claims possession and releases quickly. Paige Clemenson showing a turn of pace. No risks taken by Maggie Byrne. Flicked on by Runnels. Clemenson the target again. Instead, Yamada puts it into touch. Looks like a tweak of formation today for Dan Foden's side. Headed away by Judica. Alamein win the game's first corner. To be taken by the captain, Estelle Bougius. On the right back, raises 2 arms in the air. Ahead of a delivery into a crowded 6-yard box. Stabbed away by Talevski. Yamada knocks it forwards. NPLWVIC closing down in a hurry. And Alamein have to take the safest option. One's trickled over the line for a goal kick. Which won't be taken by Olivia Cowan. Instead, they'll use Shidara, the Japanese import, in her second spell with the club after returning from a 2024 sojourn abroad with stints in Croatia and with Le Mans in France. Flicked on by Narita. Vatke fancies her chances, and what a save early on. Olivia Cowan with the reflexes. Struck so sweetly by the former Alamein favourite, Elena Vatke. She was very close to her first Preston Lions goal. Just sat up beautifully for her, and why not have a crack? After it was helped on by Narita. The palms of Cowan stung early on here. Now a Preston corner. Overhit to the back post. Emma Checker will run this down, the former Matilda. She's dispossessed. Alamein back the other way. Threaded through the gap by Horton. Neatly done by Talevski, and she wins the second challenge as well. Excellent work by Ellie Talevski. There's the composure. Jump past her defender, and then the industry to win the loose ball. Preston have a throw, which will be taken by the right fullback, Molly May Ramsey. Possession won back by Savannah Anastasopoulos. Checker onto the loose ball, looking for Narita. Lovely take off the chest. Henderson sends it wide. Amendolia trying the outrageous back heel. No way past Bougius. Clemenson feeds it through. Ball is overhit and all the way into the grasp of Maggie Byrne. She's trying to spot the run of Zoe Horton, who's playing off the shoulder as the out-and-out 9 with Emma Runnels just behind her today. It's like Anastasopoulos lining up on the left flank and Clemenson on the right. A 4-2-3-1 for Alamein. A burst of pace from Jessica Shilton to chase that down. Ramsey will settle for the throw. Narita latches onto the second ball. Percy battling for it. Runnels out to Clemenson. She's run down by Mizuho Yamada. That one's left short by Judica. Captain Henderson with the tough gut running, but she's not going to win the throw. Ball just trickling over the near touchline before Henderson could smack it into the shins of her marker. Van Doren's throw. Henderson heads away. Rita with the hold-up play. Just tucking in behind the strikers today is a number 10, the Japanese playmaker. Another new signing here at Preston. Henderson, great distribution off the outside of her boot. And again, it was NPLWVIC going for the spectacular. This time she's a fair ways off a shot on target. Goal kick taken by Shinatsu Shinada again. Yamada. Losing out to Clemenson. Checker. Can't win it off Horton. It's industrious work. And the goal scorer last week, who also won the penalty. Neve Dustin to convert. She's the star of the show in an attacking sense. Zoe Horton against FV Academy. Composed work from Judica. Zalewski. To Yamada, who'll go up the line. Search of Narita, but can't keep the ball in play. Clemenson with the burst of speed again. Checker. Read that like an open book. Can't find a teammate with the distribution though. Still alive here for Alamein. Not for long. Neve Dustin went for glory from a long way out and never really got purchase on the shot. Byrne takes the goal kick short. Talevski under a bit of bother here. Talevski loses out, shouts for a penalty. And Zoe Horton is told to get back up on her feet by the referee. Preston perhaps getting away with one there. The short goal kick was really never on. And Ellie Talevski was in all sorts of bother. Two Alamein players closing her down. Just gets a touch on the ball. Certainly contact on Horton as well. Free kick for Alamein. Jessica Shilton just making sure the referee knew there was contact from Narita. Savvy work from the Kiwi. Shidara to take the free kick. Free header for Talevski. Drops to Bugias. Clemenson. And now Horton. Was there a raised arm from Emma Checker there? The referee says there was. And the penalty is awarded for handball. Well, Zoe Horton has been making a nuisance of herself all afternoon so far. Denied a spot kick a few moments ago for what she believed was a foul from Ellie Talevski, but this time around she gets her rewards. And the arm was raised from Emma Checker. Alamein to open the scoring from the spot. She converted last week against FV Academy. Neve Dustin looking to go 2 from 2. Dustin, never in doubt. Alamein lead at home. Neve Dustin with their second goal in as many rounds this season. both from the penalty spot, and both won by Zoe Horton. Alamein will be delighted to see history repeating itself. Preston facing an uphill battle on the road, just as they did last week against Spring Hills, conceding the opener from the penalty spot. Last week they fought back for a draw, but Alamein, top of the NPLW Victoria table now on the live ladder. They've got confidence, they've got their tails up, and they're looking for a second. Bugius in search of Runnels, the veteran. Instead it's turned over for a Preston throw this time. Checker. Long ball in search of Percy. Shilton goes back to the keeper. Offside flag up against Horton this time. Just coming back from behind the defence. And Emma Checker will send it forwards. Skewed off the outside of the boot from Clemenson. Plenty of time for Judica. Dolia. Is that a handball? No whistle from the referee. Looked as if Dustin had handled that. Now there will be controversy if Alamein go on and score from this attack. Marta intercepts. And that's a clear free kick as Marta is clipped from behind by Horton. Check. Ramsey. Nice combination down the flank from Preston. Shilton left limping after that challenge from Vatke. Ramsey's throw. Vatke, nowhere to go. Win another throw, which is taken quickly. They're slowly working their way up the line here, the Preston Lions. Vatke. No way through for Narita. Marnie Judice steps in to halt the counter-attack. Van Doren's throw, flicked on by Runnels. Anastasopoulos is going to run out of room. Ramsey's throw. Dustin, Anastasopoulos, and then Van Doren switches the point of attack. No way through for Clemenson. Well won by Yamada. Checker. Looking for Narita. Bugius takes the safe option and puts it into touch. Chance for a long launch into the box from the throw. It's good distance on it from Emma Checker. It's not met by Preston Head. Judica. Zalewski. Since that NPLWVIC half volley, Preston have barely had a sight of goal. Just no way through this well-organised Alamein defence. Maybe Georgia Henderson has something to say about that as she sends it into the box looking for the run of Vatke. Comes out to Amendolia. It's going to be an Alamein ball. Careless work at the back from Preston. Alamein take over. Emma Runnels trying to loop it through in behind, but the touch was too heavy. Burns signals for the long upfield punts. Amendolia onto the second ball. Wide option is Eri Narita, who jinks infield onto her left. Narita's ball in. Percy, it just wouldn't sit for her. Zalewski. Time enough to turn. Can't find the feet of Narita, but it ricochets to Amendolia. And now Percy. Into touch for a Preston throw. Vatke. Yamada. Bugius sliding in, buying Alamein some time. Good bounce for Percy. Yamada keeps it alive for Preston. Amendolia trying to play the killer pass. It's cut out. Alamein have defended very well so far. Long throw from Checker. Narita brings it down. Tidy work from her. Yamada's switch of play is telegraphed and intercepted. Clemenson loses out to Amendolia just for a moment. One back by Runnels, not for long. And then Georgia Henderson nips in ahead of Estelle Bugius to win the free kick. So a promising set piece opportunity here for Preston. And Emma Checker will send it into the box. Alamein seem to have the height advantage off set pieces here, but the delivery is good enough. You never know. Checker. Zalewski's the target. It might drop for Ramsey. That's it for a shot. Amendolia fancies it from long range, but it's too close to the goalkeeper. Comfortable save for Cowan. Sweetly struck, but just straight down the gullet of the keeper. risky back pass. Well done by Shilton, who was alive to the danger. Checker. Amendolia trying to beat Van Doren for pace. Can't beat her for strength though. Dustin. Overhit pass for Van Doren. It's been wave after wave of Preston pressure in the last couple of minutes. Alamein struggling to get out of their own half. Look pretty solid defending their own box though. Amendolia with the slide. The afternoon heat, Preston turning the screw. No clear-cut chances of note though. Just a couple of long-range tries from Vatke and Amendolia. Should have stung the palms of Cowan. Clemenson, chance for Alamein to get out. Talevsky screening effectively. Talevsky again. Sprays a pass into space, but there was no one making the run she was looking for. Checker. Miscommunication there, I think, between Amendolia and Vatke. Vatke perhaps better placed to receive that pass. Throw in to be taken by Madison Van Doren. On by Dakota Tyson, and then Anastasopoulos threads it through. Horton with the turn of speed again, and Lani Judice did just enough to put Horton off as she struck for glory, and it would have been her second in 2 weeks. She'd found the back of the net. Player in form, who's won both the penalties that Alamein have opened the scoring from in successive rounds. Van Doren, Runnels. Ramsey up the line. Percy trying to get Preston back too quickly. Commits the foul throw. Foot raised as she took it in a hurry. Runnels. Yamada, who's come over to the right side now, and there's another foul throw. This time for stepping on the pitch. Van Doren. And a third foul throw in a row here. Well, perhaps not. There was a flag from the assistant. That one looked suspicious as well from Van Doren. It's off the back of Ramsey. Dustin, great block by Henderson. I think Georgia Henderson just making that point to the referee that Preston are going to be pinged for foul throws. Maybe they should be keeping a closer eye on the technique of the Alamein players. Flag did go up for the first one, it looked like, but overruled by the central referee. Oh, big chance for Alamein there. It's Chinatsu Shidara just soaring through the air at the back stick. She got plenty of hang time. Couldn't glance the header home at the back post. Just too high for it. Judica. Talevski goes back to Byrne. Coolly done from Maggie Byrne. Ramsey finding Vatke and then helped on to Percy. Now Henderson advancing. A little shove in the back from Emma Runnels on Ellie Talevski. Checker over the free kick again for Preston. Percy's the target, it's helped on and onto the posts. Well, it would have been an own goal. Somehow it stays out. Valentine Percy would have taken the credit for putting the pressure on the defence. That's as close as Preston have come. The free kick arrowed into just the right spot between defence and goalkeeper. I think it was off Jessica Shilton. Yamada. Put away by Shilton. Goodness me, Preston desperately unlucky not to equalise. Narita. Beating her marker. Swinging in the cross. It falls to Vatke, but not for long. Play allowed to run on. And Stalevski picks out Narita, who's offside. Really shouldn't be in that position. Van Doren. Anastasopoulos trying to hold off the challenge of Yamada. Van Doren knocks it into space. Judica there on the scene first. Maggie Byrne has to send it clear for an Alamein throw. Clear by Maggie Byrne. Jessica Shilton winning most of those aerial duels against Percy, who's given away about 6 inches in height, at least. It's tough for Percy to win those high balls when they're pumped downfield by the goalkeeper. Judica. Shielding it over the line for a Preston throw. Anastasopoulos climbing slowly to her feet. As Judicia advances. Squeezes it through for Percy. Still battling for it, Valentine Percy. She was at a significant numerical disadvantage there. And it's fallen for Vatke, and Amendolia clipping it through towards Narita, who couldn't apply the finishing touch. Olivia Cowan on the scene first. That was all down to the industry of Valentine Percy to turn what should have been Alamein's ball into a very promising Preston attack. Checker for Ramsey. Alamein Ramsey. Rather telegraphs that pass. With Lani Judicia. And Talevski has her heels clipped. And as she signals towards the referee, it's not the first time she's felt that sort of contact when she's been receiving the ball in those areas. There was one a few minutes ago that she managed to vault. Ramsey gives it away. Horton. Clemenson turning on the afterburners. One to aim for in the box is Runnels. Hacked away by Yamada. Dustin, the goal scorer. Tried to help it wide again. The retreating Paige Clemenson couldn't get there in time. Horton. Wharton goes to the byline. Anastasopoulos not giving anything away in that 50-50. Well, Maggie Byrne was first on the scene, had possession, and he's collected. Keeper seems to be fine to continue. It's a good spot to find Ramsey on the left. Henderson wants it early. Henderson helped it on with the header. Straight to Van Doren. Dakota Tyson unable to pick out the run down the left of Madison Van Doren. Yamada up the line with the header. Runnels can only find the sideline. Another throw for Mizuho Yamada, who represented Japan at under 17 level internationally. Dustin. Can't keep it. Narita. A lot of pressure here from Bugius. And loses out to the Alamein captain. Clemenson. Throws a little step over. Emma Runnels wanted the cut back to feet. Instead, the pass was just a yard or so off the mark and allows Georgia Henderson to clear. Touch won't stick for Clemenson. Frustrating afternoon for Preston so far. Could it get worse here as Horton goes for goal? Or was that over the line? Off the underside of the crossbar from Zoe Horton. Goodness me, that was inches away from a very special goal. Zoe Horton from absolutely nowhere. He was on the wing. Maggie Byrne had no chance. Impossible to tell from our camera angle whether indeed that crossed the line before bouncing back into play. The referees weren't positioned to judge that either. They have to be sure to award the goal, of course. Narita. Amendolia. Past Runnels. And another long-range try. Oh, what a goal that is! Neve Dustin from way downtown has netted an absolute stunner. Moments after Alamein struck the crossbar from similar range. That is absolutely outrageous from Neve Dustin. Won by Runnels. And there was only one thing on her mind. Finding the top corner. Past the despairing lunge of Maggie Byrne. Alamein 2-0 up, top of the league on the live ladder and flying. Special strike. It just gets better every time you watch it back. It's given away by Bugius. And then Percy threads it through for Eri Narita. Gets to the byline and wins the corner for Preston. Oh, the American import Neve Dustin, her first season here at Alamein. She's playing college soccer in North Carolina. Originally from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. She's embarked on her Australian adventure. Very short notice, I understand. Taking a risk to fly halfway around the world to play football. Hasn't she made an instant impact in NPLW Victoria? 3 goals in 2 weeks. 2 of them coming from the penalty spot, of course. It's a decent delivery. Percy was the target at the near post. No end product, no connection for Preston. So the first 2 from 12 yards, the third, absolute screamer. A long-range try, and Cowan forced into the reflex stop. It was Eliza Amendolia who unleashed a left-footed bomb. Preston trying to respond in kinds after copping one from long range. Cowan has been tested a few times from outside her penalty area. Narita corner to the back stick this time. Henderson couldn't connect. Staying in play, and Alamein have to clear. Judica. Ramsey. Narita's in a pocket of space here. Eri Narita cutting inside. Narita's effort is blocked. That was a big, big chance for Preston. The Japanese playmaker has not had that much space all afternoon. She wanted it on her left foot. Looked like she had the Alamein defence on strings there, but it was really well blocked in the end. Maybe just took half a second too long on the ball to send it goalwards. Two penalty shouts for Alamein today. The second one given and converted. Two brilliant long-range tries, one of which came off the crossbar, the second of which found the top corner, and they might be in again! And Byrne smothers it just on her goal line. Like Anastasopoulos with the final touch. Narita for Percy. Shilton comes in to win the ball. Dustin on a hat-trick, full of confidence going forward. Can't find a teammate that time though. Vatke, Narita. Well, won by Bugius. Piece of the player, but definitely a piece of the ball as well. And then Ramsey has her pocket picked by Zoe Horton. A double ricochet, a triple ricochet in fact. Comes back off Molly May Ramsey for an Alamein corner. Now Elena Vatke will have her welfare checked on. She's wearing the Victor Osserman style protective face mask today. 2 minutes up on the board, as signalled by the fourth official, to end this first half. Alamein will be absolutely delighted with their work here at home in round two. Could it get even better for the home side? Bugius takes the corner short. Dustin. Bugius drove it into the first defender. And will settle for a retake. Bugius can't keep it in play. Quite straight out behind for a goal kick. Worth mentioning that Preston are without Dan Foden on the sideline, still serving a touchline ban after he was sent off in last season's grand final against Heidelberg. He was absent from the bench against Spring Hills as well. He'll be back in the dugout next week. It's cut out. Judica has to step in and avert the danger. Bugius into touch. Alamein. A commanding position heading into half-time. Luke Ginamata brings the first 45 to a close. Alamein on course for their first ever win over the Preston Lions. They are winless in 5 games against this team. I'm sure last season's 7-1 defeat at Geneseo Stadium will still rankle. But they've been good value for it as we head into the break. Neve Dustin with both goals, the American converting from the penalty spot after Zoe Horton forced a handball. welcome back to Dorothy Laver West Reserve. For the second half here, Alamein 2, Preston Lions 0 at the break. And the visitors have made a half-time change. And a change of shape as well. Midfielder Miri Nishimura coming off the bench to replace a fullback in Molly May Ramsey. So they will go to 3 at the back here, Preston, which they have done in previous seasons, previous weeks. They did start with a 3-4-3 against Spring Hills in round 1. Looks like they're going to that shape again. So it'll be a back 3 of Judica, Checker and Yamada just tucking in as the left centre back. And a massive midfield reshuffle. Henderson. Narita for Percy. Preston flying away on the break. Vaki just trying to stay on side. Amendolia can't find her anyway. Van Doren. Horton on the break now. Sizing up the shots. And it's straight at the goalkeeper this time. Zoe Horton came very close to a spectacular goal in the first half. Striking the underside of the crossbar. In fact, the ball looked like it might have crossed the line, but impossible to tell from our broadcast position. Of course, her effort was bettered very shortly thereafter by Neve Dustin, who followed up her successfully converted penalty with a long-range pile driver to put Alamein 2 to the good. Narita flashes across the face, and Doran sends it into touch. Fixture list doesn't get any easier for Preston in the upcoming weeks. Bulleen away, Essendon Royals away, and Boroondara away. As the pitch is resurfaced at Jenna Steele. Nishimura, the substitute, looking to make an instant impact. Danger cleared by Bugias. Paige Clemenson trying to beat Talevski on the outside for pace. Yamada comes in to help and keeps the ball alive for Preston to go back the other way. Very warm afternoon here at Dorothy Laver. Imagine the game will open up massively as we get into the final 20 minutes and players tire. And an injury issue here for Alamein, as Emma Runnels is prone on the deck on the far side. And her former teammate Elena Vatke just checking in on her. Looks like she's holding a hip or lower back. She will require some treatment. So Alamein temporarily down to 10. Bugias. The line for Clemenson. Yamada. Makes it clear. Percy wins the 50-50 with Dustin. Talevski away from Tyson. Former Preston player in the midfield for Alamein this season. Injury issue for Preston this time. Ellie Talevski. Not sure if it was a contact injury or not. So our cameras didn't quite catch the moment she went to ground, but looks like Ellie Talevski will be okay to continue for the time being. Yamada. Heavy first touch. It was a difficult pass. And Clemenson takes full advantage. And finds Zoe Horton. Horton around Judica. And across the 6-yard box, but only finds the feet of Miri Nishimura, who sends Preston in the other direction. Referee paying advantage for a foul on Percy. Narita around the outside, wrestle to the ground, and will win the free kick there. Alamain's captain, Estelle Bougias, just had her arm across the defender. The attacker, rather. And she's going to be shown a yellow card for that as well. Not sure if it was for the foul or her protests thereafter. Miri Nishimura called across to lend her set-piece expertise to this one. She scored some really spectacular goals from free kicks over the years for the Preston Lions. 7 goals last season, 6 the year before. And the vast majority of those will have come from the edge of the box or even further out. Shimura's effort this time is a rather disappointing one. Make no mistake, she can score from there. And Preston are going to make a double change. Ellie Lamont, one of the stars from last season, 13 goals in her inaugural campaign in NPLW Victoria. She's going to enter the fray. Ellie Talevsky, who pulled up lame a moment ago, goes off on the far side, and Eri Narita comes off on the near. And so Summer Kapanekia will come on as well. Teenager from Myrtlefoot up near Albury-Wodonga, who commutes 3 hours each way to training and games. Real commitment for a player who's living out in the country to train and play 2-3 times a week down here in Melbourne. Bougias. Nishimura. Judica. Another one of those players who commutes long distances. She's from up near Bendigo. Marnie Judica. And Alamein are going to make a change as well. Emma Runnels has been unable to return. And so on comes the number 10, Priya Archdeacon. He's straight into the action. Checker with a high clearance. Lamont. Preston looked a little blunt in attack without Lamont and Nishimura in the first half. Both made early entrances in the second. Alamein still nursing a comfortable lead. Horton. For Clemenson. Yamada back to Byrne. Cooley returns the favour. Alamein throw. Henderson. Finding Valentine Percy, the English striker. Most recently of Lewis FC in the UK. Shidara clears the danger for Alamein. Schenker under all sorts of pressure, and she's coughed it up to Zoe Horton. Anastasopoulos wide for Alamein. Beating Judica on the outside. Dustin tried to centre the ball, perhaps even go for goal, but couldn't get much purchase on her left boot. Coolly done by Shidara. Shilton not giving anything away in the challenge. Percy has come up a little worse for wear after that. Preston's attack continues with Vatke, who goes to ground and waved away unequivocally by the referee. And I think Elena Vatke is going to get a booking, if not for diving, but maybe for descent after the fact. If it was for simulation, she would have given away an indirect free kick, so we can only assume it's for something she said. Preston felt they should have had a penalty. Checker. Lamont latching onto the loose ball. Lamont, beautiful footwork to beat Clemenson. Wrestled to ground by Bougius, but she got the ball before she got in a tangle. Shidara couldn't intercept. Lamont was still getting back up onto her feet. Couldn't get onto the flick on from Percy. Henderson. No way past Clemenson. Yamada getting involved in the attack. Skews off her right boot. Gives Nishimura a lot to do. Preston retained possession and territory here. Although Judica is going to have to go home to burn. Yamada. Burst through a gap. Still going, Mizuho Yamada. Running out of real estate now. Settle for a throw. Percy with her back to goal, turns and shoots. It's a tame effort for Olivia Cowan to gather. Now sporting a cap. She stares into the second half sun. May have been a factor for Maggie Byrne in that long-range goal in the first half, but it was very, very well struck from Neve Dustin. Lamont hustling for it. She's going to run out of room. Missed her tenacity and skill up front. Ellie Lamont. Amendolia brings it down off the chest. We've passed two challenges, but not the third. Horton lays it off for Archdeacon. Yamada has to be careful watching the touchline there. Lamont is fouled by Shidara. the checker stands over the set piece again. Almost forced an own goal in the first half, which struck the post. And the checker with a free kick sends Nishimura wide off that one, and it hasn't come off at all. Alamein's counter-attack comes to a juddering halt. Amendolia's cross. Not fully dealt with. Henderson never got hold of it. It's a spectacular strike. In the reverse fixture at Geneseo Stadium last year. Another change for Preston. NPLWVIC is withdrawn. On comes Eli Valamic. Clemenson. Lamont. She was caught by Horton, who shakes her head in disapproval at the decision, but Lamont was a little too quick. Percy's the obvious target again. This checker knocks it forwards. Checker onto the loose ball again. Valamic, the substitute. Can't keep it with her first touch of the game. Archdeacon. Never a chance for Madison Van Doren. Amendolia. Yamada for Lamont. Amendolia. The 1-2 with Henderson. That's handled by Amendolia. Wouldn't have counted. Shadara pumps it upfield. Bugius. Henderson bursting clear. The pass was intended for Valamic. It ends up with Valentine Percy instead. Van Doren picks it off. Wrestling with Valamic. Preston throw. Horton. Spins around the outside. Archdeacon's in the middle, but the ball won't reach her. If this Preston resurgence in the second half is going to have wheels, they're going to have to get going very soon. Had a lot of possession, but precious few clear-cut opportunities. Nishimura. Switch your players offline. Again, it keeps breaking down at crucial moments for the visitors. Chasing down Estelle Bugius. Shidara. Off the caution again. So a positive start to her second spell at Alamein. Chinatsu Shidara. Yet to concede a goal, of course. Clean sheet last week against FB Academy. And it's still intact this week. The defender from Fukushima is a big part of that. Given away once again by Georgia Henderson. I think it was Lani Judica, I should say. It was a long way forward from right centre back in this 3-4-3. Yamada. Shidara shields it over the line. It goes to ground. Summer Kapanekia clearly didn't feel the push warranted the fall. Bugius. Kapanekia. Lamont. Still Lamont. Felt she was fouled. Referee has the whistle to his mouth and he's going to eventually pay a free kick. Just waiting for the advantage, I think. Let's check her on set piece duties. You just feel as if Preston are lacking her height in the box as well. Checker. Drives it to the back stick. Henderson got free. But momentum was taking her in the wrong direction. And couldn't head it on target. "20 minutes for Preston to find a lifeline, a way back into this game. For Alamein, well, they look very comfortable sitting on their lead and defending their own penalty area. It's that defensive solidity this positive start to the season has been built on. Well as an absolute knee of Dustin Worley to make it 2-0 in the first half. Amendolia. Anastasopoulos helping it forwards, and now Horton opens up her strides. Looking for Archdeacon. Almost sat for her, Priya Archdeacon. An impressive cross from the byline off her weaker left boot from Zoe Horton. It's been very good today. Going back in the other direction, there's no flag on Ellie Volemic. She was played onside by Bugius. Volemic drives it across the box. Lamont took it first time when perhaps she could have taken a touch to set herself. And that's probably Preston's best chance of the afternoon. That goes begging. Lamont showing a bit of rustiness. She had an interrupted pre-season, coming back from a knee injury late, and has been limited to substitute appearances in the opening 2 rounds. Accustomed to seeing more cutting-edge finishing from her last season. And Preston will make their final change. Alamein 2. They'll dip into their bench with a double sub. Lani Judica off. Eva Harrington on. Straight swap on the right side of defence. And it looks like Sav Anastasopoulos will be withdrawn alongside Estelle Bougius, who seemed to be just tiring in the last couple of minutes. On comes Roisin Murphy. Just wait for the fourth official to confirm that final change. Harrington straight into the action. It's Harriet Lowry who's come off the bench for Alamein. Horton. Wow. She's been a live wire all afternoon. Zoe Horton, they can't keep up with her, the Preston backline. Seems to be breaking down the flank every few minutes and causing headaches in transition. Well, that's a painful fall for Ellie Lamont. Yeah, Ellie Lamont may have done something serious here. Looks like it could be a broken wrist. She was just flattened late and instantly you could see the reaction and the pain here. That's a nasty blow. The defender fell on top of her. Looks like a painful one for Ellie Lamont. She's going to play on through it. The instant reaction suggested a broken bone to me, but physio has ruled her okay to continue. Preston do not have another substitution window up their sleeve. They've emptied their bench. She is a tough cookie, Ellie Lamont. See her holding her left arm really gingerly. Check up. Shot the handball against Percy. In fact, the handball was against the Alamein defender, I should say, and the referee's decided there's no advantage. It's a good position for a free kick for Preston, but they've had plenty of set-piece opportunities go begging from this sort of range this afternoon. You can see clearly on the replay. Harriet Lowry with the arm outstretched. Will Checker go for goal from here? She's certainly got the power to do so. Instead, Checker clips it to the back stick. Lamont off the left boot. It's, just wide of the mark by Eliza Amendolia at the far post. Couldn't make clean contact to force it home into the empty net. Sent across goal by Ellie Lamont. Only parried by the goalkeeper, Olivia Cowan. Look at that again on the replay. Eliza Amendolia had the goal at her mercy. It was an awkward bounce up near her quad and just couldn't bundle it in. Golden chance for Preston to pull a goal back. They've been the better team in this second half, but haven't made the most of their chances. Byrne gives away possession and Alamein gets some respite and get up the pitch. Yamada. Amendolia. On to Henderson. It's past Tyson, but all the way through past Shinatsu Shidara, who's wearing the captain's armband now. Roisin Murphy holding off her opponent. Preston have possession back through Valentine Percy. Henderson. That ball's crossed the line. Laid off by Zoe Horton. Archdeacon. Tyson. With Dustin, now Dakota Tyson. Sends it over the top. Yamada should clear the danger and does. Harriet Lowry to take the throw. Nishimura. Henderson. Dakota Tyson, anywhere will do. Lamont runs out of room. Alamein ball. Lowry. Preston ball. Still time here for the visitors. They've been pushing for a goal back throughout the second half. Still, this Alamein clean sheet remains intact, still yet to concede a goal in 2025. John Kyrgios's very disciplined and structured team. What good value for this so far. Despite Preston's pressure and possession in the second 45. Byrne. Hack one clear. Tyson losing out to Henderson. Kapanekia threads it through the gap. Amendolia with the eyes up, looking for a teammate down the line, which is Ellie Volamic, who has the burst of speed. Van Doren kept up with her and did well. And that's just a throw, I think, for Eva Harrington. kick to be taken by Amendolia. No one meeting it except Lamont on the second ball. She heads into the side netting. Oh, the corner dropped in the 6-yard box with no one contesting. Preston have had so many set pieces today. Lamont couldn't do much more from an acute angle. Shadara. Good bobble for Harrington. Referee playing advantage for the little shove from Horton. Coming together, involving Valaminck. Back up on her feet now. Harrington centers the ball. No chance for Percy. He was offside anyway. Seems perplexed by that decision. Nevertheless, Alamein can take some more seconds off the clock and just nurse this 2-goal lead, which they have all half. Clemenson. Tyson. Dustin. Back to Harriet Lowry. No way through. Nishimura sends it up to Percy, who puts it into space, and Lamont keeps it alive. Cutting in field, Ellie Lamont into the box looking for Valaminck, and it's just out of her reach. It was brilliant play from Ellie Lamont. She's still nursing that injury to her left arm. Just over hit for the run of Valaminck on the far side. What do Preston have left in the tank? Can they set up a grandstand finish? Feels like one goal could start to turn the tide. Alamein have been so disciplined defensively. Will that goal ever come? Horton. The pace, but can't find Archdeacon. She does gain some territory for Alamein, and she's been the pressure release valve. Whenever they need someone away in transition to send the play up the other end of the pitch. Hasn't scored today, but she's been a constant thorn in the side of that Preston backline. Nishimura. Well by Tyson, who'd love a goal against her former club. One well off target. Shilton. Good one, it's beaten check up. She lets it run through to her goalkeeper. Henderson. Still full of running. In the 86th minute. Percy digs it out towards Valaminck. Won't stay alive for Preston. Just lacked a bit of cohesion and fluidity going forward today. Capanecchia hits the deck. Lamont with Laurie keeping a close eye on her. And now Alamein come out with possession through Zoe Horton. And they have the numbers in attack here to seal the game. Horton's run takes her very wide. It's going to be a comfortable claim for Byrne. Picks out Amendolia on the right. Her touch takes her into traffic. Murphy, no way through. Amendolia spots the run of Ellie Volemic. And there's two arriving in the penalty area. If Ellie Volemic can get the ball in the box, really well defended by Shilton. He's held up well. She's been forced to cover in wide areas. Just feels it's not going to be Preston's day today. Archdeacon. Third goal would surely seal it. Horton loses out to Checker. Still an Alamein ball. Harrington putting it into touch. Van Doren, one of those players who's come across from Boroondara since the coach, John Kyrgios, got the head gig here. They followed their coach. Percy, surely a handball against Lamont. Not spotted by the referee. Lamont picking out Capanecchia. Capanecchia to the back stick. Overcooked for Volemic, but she keeps it in play. Amendolia to cross first time. Percy in the middle. Good purchase on the header. And it flies just wide of the top corner. Did look like an outstretched arm from Ellie Lamont in the build-up to that chance. Ends up with Nishimura. Harrington. Time running out for the Preston Lions. They need a goal and they need it now to make a game of this. Amendolia quickly taken. Harrington a long way further forward than she's used to. Henderson sliding in. Well, the lino flagged one way, the assistant or the central referee pointed the other. Of course, it's always down to the main referee. An injury stoppage here for Alamein. They've recruited well in the off-season. As I mentioned earlier, just 3 players from this starting 11 were playing here at Alamein last year. John Kyrgios is loaded up. The likes of Dustin and Horton. Jessica Shilton all look like really savvy pickups. Of course, Shadara, a returning player after a year away in Europe. Dustin. The New Englander has been the difference. Plucked her out of college soccer. Lenoir Ryan University in North Carolina. Her conversion from the penalty spot followed up by an absolute belter from long range. And this Second half still scoreless as we head into stoppage time. It'll be 3 minutes. We've already played one. Lamont. Lamont felled again by Shilton. Preston may as well pack the box with bodies. This time Checker will go into the box. She's been on set piece taking duties for much of this match. The big centre half will offer an aerial target this time as Amendolia sizes it up. Nishimura just perched at the top of the box. Everybody back for Alamein, 3 in the wall. One minute left to play. Amendolia floats it in, and it's missed everybody. It's been a frustrating afternoon for the visitors. Alamein, 4 goals scored, none conceded. Had a perfect start to the year. Lamont's losing out. Clemenson. Henderson goes back to Checker. Yamada. Gives Percy a lot to do. She'll win a throw or not. Dying seconds of the match here. Alamein's resolute defending is held up against the Preston pressure in this second half. They'll be very, very proud of this clean sheet when the final whistle blows. Nishimura can only concede the throw. Referee with a look at the watch. This could be it. And that is full time, and Alamein are on top of the league. Yet to concede a goal in 2025. A brilliant win and a brilliant start to the year for the home side, who finally beat Preston for the first time in their history in 6 attempts. And they've avenged that 7-1 defeat last season. Both goals today coming from Neve Dustin. The first from the penalty spot, the second from way, way downtown. And they sat on their lead and defended stoutly throughout the second 45. We'll sign off here from Dorothy Laver Reserve. The final score, Alamein 2, Preston Lions 0.